I think one of the ones that a lot of people had an interest on is this. Maybe it's going to be called 6.6 eventually, who knows, but AEM and JDK 17. So I wanted to just kind of get the news is out. Now it's not just rumor or supposition, because I got a whole bunch of comments after that one bike riding podcast that I did about 6.6. People going, okay, how do you know? Like who? Okay, so now that it's actually out, I can say. So here's the data. So sometime by the end of the year or early Q1, there's going to be a new version of AEM 6.5 that is going to run on JDK 17. There's reasons that they talked about on why that is. Java 11, Java 8, they're on the EOL list. EOL's in the future, but at least it's going to be EOL'd. So AIM's going to have to get off it anyway. It can just indefinitely run on 8 and 11. There's also other upstream vulnerabilities, packages that they can't patch, etc. So there's reasons. So they want to move to an LTS version of the JDK, moving to 17, which has got support, it's got to have regular updates and so forth. So they haven't announced the name for it yet. So we can't tell if it's actually really going to be AEM 6.6. The code name that they've given right now is AEM 6.5 2025 edition, which is like a terrible code name because it's going to be 6.5.25. And then in a few months, we're going to have AEM 6.5 Service Pack 25. So it'll be 6.5.25 also. And so we're going to have two things. Anyway, it'll get confusing. So hopefully they call it 6.6. I really hope they call it something besides 6.5 2025 edition, because that's the worst.
I really believe it's like a marketing decision. So should we tell the clients that they get a new version, especially if we want them to go into cloud?
I know, but that's the thing. So if you finish this whole adapt to, there's tools for every workload. There's 6.5 tools, and the people who are still using 6.5 now, it's not because they're afraid of the cloud. It's because that's the right tool for the job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's same with cloud service. Like the people who are on cloud service, I mean, some people are on it because they were afraid that they were supposed to move, but other people, it's because it's the right tool for the job. And edge delivery now, there's sites where that's the right tool for the job. So
yeah. So why Java 17, not 21?
Well, so they said they're still trying to make it work with 21. They said 20 because 21 has only, when was that released? That was last year that it came out, right?
Yeah, it's pretty fresh last year.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh. So getting Sling and Oak to work on JDK 21, I think the eventual plan is to make cloud service run on 21, but they're still working on that, is what they said.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about bumping up Java version, it's pretty simple when you got a single repository project and you can just change it to run tests and maybe do some small tests and it runs. But when you talk about a product that is like 357, I guess, repositories is in Sling only.
Yes.
So, and you get thousands or tens of thousands of customers using it all around the world. And you need to be sure that it doesn't break anything. Right. So they mentioned that they want to go step by step. So 11 to 17, and then from 17 to 21 eventually.
Right. And they said too, their plan was to get cloud service running on 21. But I mean, there's so many people who went to cloud service assuming that there's never going to be, because one of the selling points of cloud service is no big jumps.
Yeah.
And no big upgrade projects. Right. And so if you give somebody a big upgrade project, you're basically breaking the sales contract that you made with them when you sold them the service. So it has to not be a big jump. It has to be a pretty, I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it has to be pretty small in terms of the developer lift to get people onto 21.
Okay. I think also it's because of the pace. So when you upgrade 6.5, everyone can do it in their own pace. And with AEM as a cloud service, they push the updates to all of the repositories at once. So they need to know upfront that every single customer won't have any problems with that. So that's probably a challenge.
Yeah. There's probably ways that they can do staged rollouts and so forth, or early access customers or something like, you've got a simple site. Can you do it first? Okay, yours is a more complex case. Can you put your stage environment on, or can we run your code on this thing to make sure it works and things like that? But evidently, they're saying it's going to be faster because, I mean, you get speed enhancements natively really in the JDK. So the procedure to get there, evidently, also you're going to have, the other bit that they were talking about is that they're going to have both WAR and JAR versions of it released. So I mean, I don't know who does this anymore. What is this type of person that is going to run AEM on Tomcat?
Yeah. There are customers because they got the data. If anyone knows about it, they know. It gives you the perspective that it's like, when you think about library, it can be easily upgraded. But, there are people still using Tomcat to run AEM, or WebSphere, right? So we think about how backward compatible it has to be and how many, checks has to be done before really upgrading to Java 17.
That's right.
And I think that there was that one thing that you mentioned is that there was an announcement about this beta program or something, right? If you want to register interest into trying out that with your customer.
That's right. And they shared it. They shared a link, and I saved it.
Someone shared a link.
We may have to wait for the slides because I took a picture of it. They had a QR code. So, but yeah, but they're going to have a new pattern detector specifically for this upgrade because you had the old pattern detector that we've been using forever. But obviously there's going to be things that they're going to bring up on this that are like, oh yeah, you shouldn't do this. This is going to explode if you try to put this one on the 6.5 2025 edition. They said they're going to have two different mechanisms for getting onto the new version, which is going to be an upgrade or a side grade. So you can basically you can do an in-place upgrade for folks that's the right idea, or to have kind of an oak upgrade style upgrade process similar to like a 6.4 to 6.5 migration. So it seems like it's going to be straightforward, but can't wait to get my hands on it.
Yeah, so I think that what's interesting for people is that AEM will be maintained for a long, long time. And so Adobe is prepared to run that for a lot of customers, even on-prem, right?
Yes.
So and not everyone is moving to the cloud, and even though there was not so many innovations around Sling, like most of the innovations I would say was around Edge Delivery Service or the Universal Editor. So yeah, it's like AEM is like a feature-ready product.
Yes.
Yeah, especially on-prem, and it's actively maintained. It actually get fixes, and it's not moving anywhere.
That's right. And I think that this is probably then all this like rumor around, is Adobe really going to get rid of this? Is it, is it going away? Are you serious that it's not deprecated? But if you just take that datum about, oh yeah, this is going to support, Jetty or Tomcat and WebSphere. Like if you just look at that, like look at the customers that Adobe has to continue to support on this. This is for the customers that are still running their own 6.5, they're going to be running this for a while. And so this is it's got its set of use cases, and it's going to be around for a bit.